Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. This is Ali and I am back with another Raid Shadow Legends video. So this is gonna be a Sand Devil video. As you know, I'm a free-to-play player. As a free-to-play player, you struggle a lot with the variety of the champions that you have. I've been wanting to get to level 25 of Sand Devil for so long, and one of the easier ways to get there is having a God Seeker and a DPS to get there. But as you can see, I don't have it. There is another speed tune that uses Demitha to get to level 25, and you only need a few speed changes to get all the way from stage 13 or 14 to 25. I have a video on it. If you haven't watched it, I recommend watching that video. I didn't have these options, and there's another option with maneaters but you have to change the speeds so many times, and it costs a lot of silver. So I've been looking around for a tune that doesn't need so many speed changes. And a few days ago, I saw a video on Bronco Raid Shadow Legends. He did level 25 of Sand Devil with Emic. And if you've been playing the game for some time, you should have Emic. He was a recent fusion, and he does Unkillable and decreases the cooldown. So I got the idea to just use Emic and find a speed tune in the speed calculator and get to stage 25, and I succeeded. However, I should say I did ask Bronco Raid Shadow Legends to help me out because I couldn't figure out some stuff in the speed calculator, and he helped me out, and I finally found the speed tune to get from 18 all the way to 24, and it does 24 as well. And for 25, you just need to change the speeds again and build a fast and decent team for 25. Okay, so let's go see the run. I would recommend watching at least the first minute of it to understand what's going on. After that, I'll show you how to set it up in the speed calculator to see if your speeds work or not. Also, I'll show you the builds and tell you about a few things that you need to consider when building your team. Let's go. Before we see the speeds and the setup in the speed calculator, I would show you the team setup. So Emic starts with the A1 and A3 first priority, A2 second priority, Courthart, A3 first priority, Maneater open with A1, A3 first priority, Maruka or Revive on Death Champion, A3 first priority, A2 second priority. If you're using someone else, just make sure they don't do their too many hits under A2. If they do it, just turn it off. And Fane is doing the A3 as the first priority and A2 second priority. She doesn't even land the poison, so it doesn't really matter. And yep, let's go to the speed calculator. Okay, so the first thing that you need to do is you have to go to the description of the video. I have the code for the speed calculator in there. Copy it, come to the speed calculator, make sure your version is 1.2 or a later version. When you come here, you come to more, you paste your code here, and you click on import. Then it shows you this. When it shows you this, I'm at stage 18, right? And when you go to the normal calculator, you just have to do this so that it shows you the calculator. You just increase the speed and decrease it, and it fixes. And when you come here, this is how it is. And you may not understand what's going on. So you have to click on the number of columns, make it 5, because we are going on a rotation of 5. As you can see, every 5 turns, you're doing the same abilities. So when you do that, it's more understandable. And on turn 1 and turn 6, that's how it looks like, and that's how it should be all the way down. And I'll go to general settings, make the number of turns like 50, because why not? And as you can see, it's all the way down the same. And on turns 3, your DPS need to do their abilities. So like your Courthart has to do the A3. If you're using someone else, you can do it. You don't have to use Courthart. I was actually using a Royal Guard for some stages. You can use a Husk. Doesn't have to be Courthart. Your DPS is using their enemy max HP, and your debuffer, I'm using Fane, is using the A3, which is on a 4-turn cooldown, and my DPS is on a 4-turn cooldown as well. So your DPS have to have their main ability on a 4-turn cooldown. That's very important. And it's the same all the way down here. And when you go here, it's the same. So you have to check it out before you change the speeds. And once you add your speeds, you can just push your speeds here. You can change these champions to the champions that you have, and all of that. If you use a Royal Guard or Husk, turn off their A3. Just make sure you do that. And it's the same when you go to 19, 20, 21, and as you see, these debuffs change, but it doesn't matter because it's the RNG that the speed calculator just considers for like your debuffs not landing, and that's fine. As you can see, she's still doing the A3 here, so that's okay. And all the way it works to 24. So same speed from 18 to 24. And let's talk about the number of hits. Your Courthart, your DPS, your debuffer, which in my case I have Fane, and your Revive on Death Champion have to have 4 hits when the boss is sleeping. So like here on the turn 2, Maruka is doing the A2, and on turn 3, your Fane and my Courthart are doing their A3 as well. So Maruka, it does a healing here, so she doesn't hit, and Courthart does the A3, which is 1 hit, and Fane does the A3, which is 3 hits. So that's 4 hits, and that's good. But if you're using someone like a Razan for debuffs, then you'll have to bring a DPS that does 3 hits. You could use a Nut, you could use like a ninja or like other DPS. But if you use ninja, you'll have to play around with your speeds to see if it works with ninja or not. You'll just have to play around with ninja speeds. And yep, just make sure your revive on death, your DPS and debuffer do 4 hits or more when it comes to turn 2 and turn 3. So they have to do 4 hits. And I gotta say, since your DPS, your enemy max HP, is the slowest, if the other two, like your debuffer and your revive on death, do more than 3 hits, your DPS is not going to do their max damage. So it's gonna slow down your run. So it would be nice so that if it's just 4 hits and not more. Hope that makes sense. And if you bring a nut and like a debuffer that has a 1 hit, that would make it way faster than whatever I'm showing you. My runs were like between 5 minutes to 7 minutes, depending on the affinity and all that. Nut makes it way better. And yeah, this is it. Let's go see the builds. Okay, so my Emic is at 274. And nothing else really matters on him. This is the same Emic that I use for Nightmare Hydra. If you haven't watched that video, I recommend watching it. I'll put the link in the description. It's a great team, and I recommend everyone to build it. A lot of damage. And the A3 and the A2 need to be fully booked. Actually, I think the A2 being on a 4-turn cooldown might work as well. It shouldn't be a problem. He's got War Master. War Master on him is okay, but War Master on him is allowed. My debuffer, she doesn't have a War Master. You're not allowed to have War Master because a War Master or Giant Slayer hit counts as a hit, as an extra hit. So like all those stuff that I mentioned would happen, all those issues. She's not allowed, your debuffer is not allowed to have Phantom Touch. So have that in mind. You need to at least 500 accuracy and 550 for level 25. I just did 550, and she is 200 speed, some attack, and some damage stats. It's not much, but hey, it works. And make sure you don't have any of these rapid response, arcane celerity, or cycle of magic, or any of these bottom oppressor or timing intervention masteries that mess up your speed tool. Also, no cycle of revenge. And my maneater is level 40. He actually leveled up while I was getting to stage 24. I just put him in a toxic set. You don't have to. I just wanted a little bit of extra damage. He doesn't have any masteries. 205 speed, and the lower the HP of your champions is, the faster your run will be. I hope you have that in mind. And my Maruka, she was level 1. She only needs to be 269. 270 works as well. Nothing else really on her matters. She also, one very important thing on her, when you're adding it, she needs to have her A3 on a 5-turn cooldown. Very important. 5-turn, not 4-turn, not 6-turn. This is very important. And she's a revive on death, and her A2 doesn't really hit. That's why Thane and Coulthard work together. So I recommend Maruka for this kind of team over other people, but you can still do it with like other DPS as well. And my Coulthard, she's in Savage set. You probably don't need Savage set, but this is just the same Coulthard that I use in my Phantom Shogun. So if you're built your Phantom Shogun like my team, you can use the same Coulthards. Actually, the same Royal Guard works for here too. So there is that. She's at 180 speed and some damage stats, nothing really crazy. And she's got Phantom Touch. You can have Phantom Touch and War Master on your Cold Heart, on your enemy max HP champion. You can have anything you want. But she doesn't have Cycle of Magic or any of the Terminator Masters. You should understand, like, you can't do that. And I got this mastery for her too because her HP is always low, so she just does a little bit more damage. And so I can show you the Royal Guard that I use too. This kind of messed up my run a few times, so I don't recommend it refishing. I just use him for other contents. That's why I have it. And I did have this mastery too. This mastery doesn't really do well for this boss, so don't have it. I just had to manual a few times to make it work. And yeah, that's it. This is a team, and yeah. Let me tell before we go, let me tell you about some substitutes that I think are pretty great. There's the debuffer here in the dwarves. This guy, Ragnar, he's pretty nice. He has some increased attack on himself, decreased defense, weaken, and once you book it, it's already on a 4 turn, so it's pretty great. You can even you should turn off his A2. He's pretty great with nuts if you want to use him. You can use someone like a Bellanor, or you can even this champion, what's their name? I was thinking of using Gintoro. He's pretty nice for this team as well, but if you use him, you're gonna have to use Nuts. But I just didn't use him because of the 5 times hit that it just affects Nuts hit. He doesn't really do that much, but if it's the only decreased defense and weaken champion that you have, use him. And there are like a lot more options. Just make sure you use the correct number of hits. Okay, so this is it for this video. Thank you guys for watching. If you have skipped any of the parts except the run, I would recommend going and rewatching it again, because you'll make mistakes if you don't pay attention to it. Okay, so before we go, again, I should mention Maruka, your revive on Death Champion, has to be on a 5-turn cooldown. Make sure you do that, and consider the number of hits, the minimum number of hits, and once you do that, your team should run fine. So yeah, this is it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you have any more questions, please leave a comment and let me know what you want to see in the future. And yep, I hope to see you guys in the next video. Goodbye.